What is going on, guys? Thanks for watching today's video. I just want to take a quick second here to announce a Rugrats themed giveaway for today's video. Today I'm actually giving away this real life Cynthia collectible doll. It's pretty cool here. You can't really find this in stores. I think it was only in the Nickelodeon crate that I got a couple years ago. But anyway, I'm going to be giving this away along with some other Nickelodeon themed things I got in that Nick's box. So all you guys have to do to enter is A, like this video, B, be subscribed by having notifications on by hitting that little bell, and C, by leaving a comment down below. And I'll be picking a random commenter in the coming days and shipping this out to them. But good luck to all you guys, but let's jump right into today's video. The Rugrats premiered Sunday, August 11th, 1991. It was the second original Nickelodeon cartoon after Doug. The show was an instant smash hit and went on to be one of the most successful cartoons of all times. Millions of kids, myself included, fell in love with the characters, but there may be a secret hidden deeper meaning behind these characters that you may have never noticed. I didn't until recently, and I've seen every episode of the show at least 3 times, including the movies, and I had the orange VHS cassettes back in the day. I absolutely was in love with the show as a kid. Anyway, after I noticed this, it seemed so obvious and it makes so much sense. So what am I talking about exactly? Well, what was hidden right under our noses this entire time? Well, I believe that every child's personality is a reflection of the type and degree of attention they receive from their parents. The show is essentially a warning sign of how to parent your kids and what can happen if you don't do it correctly.
But you can't be scared all the time.
Well, okay.
If you stop to think about how each character in the show behaves, you can start to see patterns, and if you dig a little bit deeper than that, it becomes clear what is influencing them. As we all know, toddlers in real life soak up just about everything in their environment and affects their behavior and development immensely. This is why you see so many parents playing classical music around children or playing those baby Einstein videos for their young ones. So now that we know that they're at a very susceptible stage of their development, let's take a closer look at the characters and see how their parenting is affecting their personalities. Starting off with Angelica. She is the most obvious example in the show. Her parents are very detached from her, especially her business-oriented mother, who's always just seemingly too busy on her phone and things like that with work to pay attention to her. The only time her parents give her attention is to call her princess or to give her extra things or to give into her every demand, making her a spoiled little brat. They have given into her demands as a form of putting Angelica aside, as she's already too needy for them and they are just way too busy with other prior engagements and work. In this way, Angelica has learned to be a spoiled brat in order to get what she wants. It's kind of this gratification thing. She just has to complain and be a brat, and she gets what she wants because it's easier for her parents to give into her demands than to actually take time away from work to see what she wants. Therefore, it's natural for Angelica to be the boss of the group because her mom, Charlotte, is such an in-charge, take-no-prisoners type of executive. It kind of rubbed off on her, and that's why she's always in charge of the group, but it also makes her the spoiled brat that she is. Next up is Tommy, who was a little bit harder to discern because Tommy reacts to not just only his parents, but his grandfather is in the mix as well. Starting out though with Stu. Stu often subjects Tommy to his failed experiments, making Tommy much of a brave kid than the others. For example, when Stu introduces him to that robot clown toy, it scares the hell out of Tommy, but he eventually overcomes his fears. Stu's personality also clearly rubs off on Tommy, as Tommy is a good problem solver and thinks outside the box because his father is an inventor who has to problem solve and think outside of the box for a living, so he's been exposed to this since the very beginning and it's starting to rub off on him and being a natural born leader. Also, Tommy's mother similarly focuses mainly on her parenting book from Dr. Lipschitz. Her book often tells her to introduce sudden changes into Tommy's life, making him much more adapted to change. Like when she suddenly took away Tommy's pacifier because the Dr. Lipschitz book told her to. Things like this are getting Tommy more familiarized with random changes and events, making him a better natural leader. Also, we have the factor of the grandfather in here, who actually, believe it or not, gives him the most quality attention. It seems like all the parents in this show kind of ignore their children and kind of just leave them in the playpen and just don't even acknowledge them. But The grandfather in this situation actually probably spends the most time with the kids. Makes sense. A lot of times couples do this in real life as well. As they're busy with work, they leave it with the grandparents who are retired. Anyway, as we all know though, in the show, way too often the grandfather in the show falls asleep, leaving the kids again by themselves. Again, this is a way that Tommy learned how to navigate the world by himself and learned how to take care of himself because he's always been on his own. Even when his grandfather's there, he does fall asleep most of the time, and they have this time to figure things out on their own and to explore and be adventurous, just like Tommy is. Next up, we have Phil and Lil, twins, and these children are an interesting case because, like I said, they are twins, and their parents are, again, almost always neglectful. We see a pattern going on here, but it is rare that their mother or even their father talks to them or acknowledges them at all in the show, and as a result, the kids have come to rely more on one another than their parents or anyone else. Because life is rather ambiguous for these kids, and it's kind of exploratory for Phil and Lil, they have developed their own unique culture with each other. I mean, they eat bugs, they play in mud, they do all sorts of weird, nasty things because no one's really told them not to. They are also quick to adapt random behavior onto one another, and they kind of possess their own culture. And we see this a lot in real life when twins, a lot of times twins do things like have their own, their own quirks, their own inside jokes, they have their own, sometimes even languages in real life. So it's kind of easy to see why they have this kind of thing going on where they're both very similar. They rely more on each other than they do anyone else. Of course, we all know that Chucky's biggest quality is being a scaredy cat coward, and he is scared to do anything new and could be said to be developmentally behind the rest of the crew because he hangs out with younger kids all the time and is often outshined by them. Now, the reason for this could be that Chucky's father is a very sweet and nice dad. However, he babies Chucky way too much. He treats Chucky like just, needs to be cuddled and protected in every situation and doesn't let him do much and kind of shelters him. This could be because obviously his wife died early into his life, and he's become paranoid about losing the ones he loves. Also, Chucky could be scared of everything because he was introduced to trauma at an early age when he lost his mother. So the losing of the mother and Chucky's dad's wife could play a major role in why he's such a scaredy cat. He may have to overcome these fears, and he just hasn't been able to develop past them yet. Neither has their father, really, in a way. However, the most damning evidence to the lack of parental attention these babies are given is the imaginary world that they live in while their parents are gone. When the kids get together, they often misconstrue the world and create these fictional, scary situations to a whole episode's plotline is devoted to. And it is amazing how little attention these kids get, and they're never watched. I mean, they're often lost even in public, or they're left outside in the backyard with no supervision, or they're put in their little playpen, which they know how to break out of with a screwdriver, and they somehow get away. All of these kids' extreme personalities are a way of coping with being given improper attention by their parents, and it's kind of a foreboding warning here by Nickelodeon of what can happen.
He's the bravest baby I ever saw.
Anyway, as a kid watching this show growing up, I never really noticed any of these patterns, but now rewatching it as an adult, you can definitely start to pick up on these themes and how the writers were putting these underlying things into the show. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys all enjoyed. And be sure to enter that contest for your chance to win that Cynthia doll. Like I said, just like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell button for your chance to win the giveaway. I'll be picking out a random commenter sometime in the coming week or so. I also want to give a quick shout out and thank you to my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, it would not be possible. Thank you guys so much for the help out on the channel. If you guys want to support the channel as well and get access to my videos a couple days early, check out the link in the description. Any level will get you access to these videos early. And finally, one last thing I want to say is thank you to the Reddit user CH1993 for his contributions to this video. His original post was what inspired this, and I can leave a link to that as well. But until next time, guys, remember that it's always K-Mac time somewhere. Until then, take it easy and peace out.
Oh, Tommy, you got the boo-boo. Oh, it was worth it, Chucky.
Hello, Mr. Duck!
Not like that, Stewie. First you have to fight the duck or he won't tell you anything.
Fight?
Yeah.
But I'm scared.
Sure you're scared, Stewie. Everyone gets scared sometimes.
I can eat first. I have to eat first. I gotta eat something. I gotta have something in my stomach. I gotta have maybe something.
Jump right in. Ready to jump.